The exercise, the exercise to focus on is being. We've talked about being in the now. What matters in life, what matters in sport, or football, is being in that moment, concentrating.
I have a Zoom for training.
Concentrating what's happening in the now. That's what we need to try and focus on. Focus on the moment. That's the key. So we need to focus on when you're in a game, we're going to practice focusing on the next phase. The question is, what do I need to do now? Okay. So for example, it's your concentration, your focus. It's a corner kick, it's a throw in, it's a break in play. A number of things that happen in the game. You get a bad refereeing decision, you get a goal disallowed, you miss a goal, someone in the crowd says something to you that you don't gets on your back, whatever, really, your mind gets distracted and then you're not focusing on the now. You need to focus on the now, irrespective of what happens. So you know where your opponent is. You know where your opponent is. It's a corner, defending a corner. It's a throw in. It's a breaking play, end-to-end stuff. You know where your opponent. You'll be really, really clear where the opponent is. You know where the ball is. Okay, the ball obviously is the danger because you score a goal. The ball, that's the key. That's can they move the ball from one end of the pitch to the other? So you know where the ball is. You know where you are. Spatial awareness on the pitch. They're really important factors. And the next phase of play, that moment by moment, is key. And we see even the best players in the world, because the margins, the higher up you go, are more finer. They're quicker, they're faster, their mind works quicker, they process quicker. So all things being equal, you've got the elite of the elite, they're doing things so quickly, where one lapse in concentration, bang, they score, they get the momentum, and they win the game. It can change. A game of football could change really quickly. And the higher up you go, the more you could make a case in point that focus, because the game is quicker in the mind. They do things a lot quicker. Players at the highest level, has been proven, make quicker decisions and consistently better decisions. So obviously, at the highest level, they're going to make mistakes, because that's what human beings do. That's what we do. But there are preventable ones too. There are things that we can do. So if you're focusing on the crowd, you're focusing on the next game, you're focusing, you're going to make the cup final, you're focusing on the next game you're going to play, you think you've won the game because you're winning 2-0 and there's a couple of minutes to go, you're focusing on anything other than what you've got to do now, then that becomes a problem, because it only takes a moment, a lapse in concentration, and then bang, the opposition score, they get momentum, and obviously there's the old saying, goals change games. Well, not necessarily goals change games, it's our reaction to that, because that can shift the momentum quickly. So the emphasis is, even going to practice an exercise shortly, is how we focus on the moment, on the now, and by doing that, we focus on the next phase of play. That's the key, and we put everything else out. So we need to focus on, I mentioned before, all the things that go on in the game, a number of things that we can get distracted. We need to bring it back in. So because the brain uses a lot of energy, the research is about 20% of our energy after a game. This is why it's important you get rest and recovery, not just physically, mentally, because sometimes after the game, I know you'll have experienced that after a game, it's mentally exhausting because you're having to think. It's almost like doing an essay. It's almost like doing an exam. You're really, really focusing. It requires a lot of focus. And yeah, of course, the game is played at an unconscious level to a certain extent, but consciously you can affect decisions too. Consciously you can bring yourself back in again, and reset, and sort of refocus on where you need to be. in that moment. So you're really aware. You know where your oppositions are, your opponent, where the players are. You know where the ball is. You know where you are on the pitch. You're really aware, and that's something to sort of practice on in training as well. When you're playing small-sided games, when you're playing, you train as you play. Okay, when you're training, it's all good and well having fun, banter in a game. I'm all for that, recreational, making training fun and stimulating at times. But when you're focusing on what you're going to bring in the game, even in training, you've got to be on it. You've got to be on it, and you've got to treat it like it's a proper game, because what you do in training, you'll bring on to the game situation.